My girlfriend texted, "Stop asking where I am." I replied, "Then don't come home." She expected me to panic and beg for a reply. Instead, I changed the locks that night and put her stuff in storage by morning. 2 days later, her friends added me to a group chat to fix it. That's when I sent the screenshot and left. Original post. I'm Miles, 32M, and until 2 weeks ago I was dating Brielle, 29F. We'd been together a little over 2 years. She moved into my townhouse in Raleigh about 10 months ago. Lease is in my name, always has been. Brielle wasn't loud. She was polished, charming, the kind of person who could turn a tense room into a party with 2 sentences. And for a while I mistook that for emotional maturity. But she had a pattern. Anytime I asked a normal question, she turned it into a character flaw. Where are you? You're controlling. Are you okay? You're anxious. Can we talk about what happened? You love drama. So I started shrinking, checking in less, swallowing discomfort. Pretending I didn't notice the little power moves. The sudden coldness when I didn't agree with her. The way she'd disappear for hours and return like nothing happened, waiting for me to accept the reset without questions. She called it privacy. I called it walking on eggshells. Last Friday, she said she was going out with coworkers after her event planning shift. She left around 7:30 p.m., dressed like she was headed to a rooftop lounge. Hair done, perfume, the whole thing. I didn't care that she went out. I cared that she always went quiet right after. By 10:45 p.m., I'd heard nothing. I texted once, "You good?" No response. At 11:03 p.m., my phone buzzed. "Brielle, stop asking where I am. If you don't trust me, leave." I stared at the screen, read it twice, because the truth is I had trusted her. I just didn't trust the game. The part where she punished me for asking a basic question and then acted like I was the problem for noticing. So I typed back, "Then don't come home." Sent. I didn't add a paragraph. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. 3 seconds later, she called. Then again. Then FaceTime. I watched the phone light up like it was trying to guilt me into becoming the old version of me. I declined every call. Texts poured in. "Are you serious? I'm out, Miles. Calm down. Wow, you're really doing this. Open the door when I get back." The moment she realized I wasn't chasing, her tone shifted, not sad, not apologetic. Angry that the lever didn't work, so I did the boring, calm thing. I pulled out her suitcases, folded her clothes, shoes into their boxes, makeup into a tote, skincare into a separate bag because I wasn't about to ruin anything. I took photos as I packed, not for drama, for documentation. At 12:30 a.m., her stuff was stacked neatly by the front door. Labels. Tape, clean. I walked through the house and collected the small things she'd claimed as hers. The throw pillows she insisted were for the vibe. The decorative tray on the entry table. The little photo frames. Anything I didn't want to argue about later. Then I called a 24-hour locksmith, $180 for new locks and keys, worth every dollar. While I waited, I opened a storage unit website and rented a 5x10 unit 10 minutes from the townhouse. Climate controlled, $92 a month, first month prorated. I wasn't doing 10 quick pickups where she'd show up to cry on my porch and then leave with one sweater, one pickup, one location, one paper trail. By 2:05 a.m., the locks were changed. By 2:30 a.m., I'd changed my Wi-Fi password, removed her phone from the smart thermostat and logged out of every streaming account. I put my phone on silent, went to bed, and for the first time in months I slept without that tight, buzzing dread in my chest. Update 1: 4 days later, Brielle didn't come home that night. She stayed with her friend Marin. I only know because Marin texted me Sunday morning from an unknown number. "Marin, hey, she's really upset. Can you please just talk to her?" I replied once. She told me to leave if I didn't trust her. "I'm leaving. Her stuff is packed. Pickup window is Wednesday 6-7 p.m. Marin tried the guilt angle. She didn't mean it like that. I didn't respond. Monday, I sent Brielle one clean message. "Your belongings are packed. Pick them up Wednesday 6-7 p.m. Confirm or they go to storage." No confirmation, just more calls from random numbers. Tuesday afternoon, my doorbell camera pinged. Brielle was on my porch with a coffee cup and a perfectly curated sad face. Hair done, outfit sharp. like she was auditioning for a reconciliation montage. She tried her key, didn't work. She stepped back and stared at the door like it betrayed her. Then she looked directly at the camera and waved, like I'd come running because she waved. Her text, "Open the door. This is insane. Mine, confirm pickup or it goes to storage." She replied, "You can't lock me out." "I get mail there." I replied, "I'll forward it." "You moved in under my lease. This is not a negotiation." Then her sister, Paige, called me at work, left a voicemail about me abandoning Brielle and punishing her for having a life. I texted Paige back. "Brielle told me to leave if I didn't trust her. I accepted. Please stop contacting me." Paige sent me a screenshot of Brielle's Instagram story, something about men who can't handle independent women. No text needed. I understood the goal. I saved it. Screenshot folder. Wednesday came, 6 p.m. No Brielle. At 7:12 p.m. after the window, she texted, "If you were a real man, you'd be waiting outside." I replied with the storage unit address and gate hours. That was it. That night my mom called. "Mom," she messaged me too, "send me what she sent you," so I did. My mom didn't lecture. She didn't ask me to be the bigger person. She just said quietly, "Good. I'm glad you finally stopped negotiating with someone who enjoys the leverage." 10 minutes later she texted again, "Brielle will not be contacting me anymore." I slept like someone who finally took his own life back. Update 2.5 weeks later, it got quiet for a few days. Not peace. Just Brielle switching strategies. Wednesday morning, the receptionist at my office buzzed me. "There's a woman here saying she's your girlfriend and she has important paperwork." I already knew who it was. Brielle was in the lobby wearing a blazer and holding a manila envelope like it contained the fate of the universe. She had that practiced expression, eyes glossy, voice calm, posture perfect, like she wanted witnesses to see reasonable Brielle. She stepped toward me. "I just want to talk, I'm late," I said. "Email me." "Leave?" Her smile twitched. She lowered her voice. "You're really doing this to me?" I didn't answer. I asked reception to call building security. When security walked her out, she didn't cry. She glared. That was the real emotion. I requested the incident report number. Then I emailed myself a timeline, date, time, who saw it, exact words. Because I finally understood something. The person who plays games also plays narratives. That night she sent a Venmo request for $1120 labeled "moving costs plus shared bills." She had lived with me rent-free except groceries, and even that was inconsistent. I declined the request and wrote, "We are settled. Do not contact me again." Next she sent flowers to my office. Not huge, just enough to be noticed. I asked reception to refuse delivery. Then I got added to a group chat with 5 of her friends. It was the classic script. "You're hurting her. You're being cold. Just talk for 5 minutes." I replied once. She texted me, "Stop asking where I am," and told me to leave if I didn't trust her. I accepted. That's the entire story. Then I dropped the screenshot of her message. No commentary, left the chat, blocked everyone. 2 days later, Paige tried a bigger play. "Paige, Brielle is pregnant." I stared at the text for a full 10 seconds. Not because I believed it, because I recognized it. The emergency button. The "now you have to talk" button. I replied once, "If that's true, put it in writing and send it through an attorney. Otherwise, stop." Nothing ever came in writing. After that, Brielle started appearing in places I went. My grocery store, my gym parking lot, the coffee shop near my office, always accidental. Always with the same line, "Can we just talk?" And every time I said the same thing. No. I filed a non-emergency police report for harassment. Not because I thought she'd get arrested. Because I wanted a paper trail if the accidents escalated. Meanwhile, I got promoted to operations lead. A $5,500 raise, and I met Dana through a volunteer event my company hosted. Normal conversation felt like oxygen. No tests. No traps, no punishment for asking questions. Brielle, on the other hand, cycled through 3 new numbers in 1 week, all blocked. Final update, 2 months after the text, Brielle went official. I received an email from a new address with the subject line, "Formal notice." It was 4 paragraphs of apology mixed with blame. The tone was basically, "I'm sorry you felt that way, but you overreacted and you owe me money and give me my things and I deserve closure." I forwarded it to my friend Theo, who's a paralegal. He read it and said, "This is bait, don't bite, but document everything." So I sent a cease and desist letter, certified mail, $76, signature required, no contact. No workplace visits, everything in writing. She didn't stop. A week later, I got served for small claims. She was suing me for shared living expenses and emotional distress. Court was a Tuesday morning. Brielle showed up with Paige and a folder. I showed up with a binder, doorbell camera stills, locksmith receipt, storage contract, copies of the Venmo request. And the screenshot that started it all. The judge asked why she was suing. Brielle said, "He locked me out and abandoned me because I went out with friends." I slid the screenshot across. The judge read it slowly, looked up. "You told him to leave if he didn't trust you." Brielle tried to pivot. I was frustrated. He should have known I didn't mean it. The judge didn't move. "Words have meanings. He accepted your terms." Claim dismissed. Outside the courtroom, Brielle hissed, "You ruined my life." I didn't answer. I walked to my car and called my mom. She said, "Good, come over Sunday, I'm making chili." 2 days later, Brielle finally emptied her storage unit. No face-to-face. Just paperwork and a confirmation email. When I got it, I sat there for a minute and let the quiet settle. Dana and I are taking it slow. My townhouse feels like mine again. I don't flinch when my phone buzzes. And I learned something I wish I'd learned earlier. When someone uses trust as a weapon, it's not trust, it's control. They want freedom to disappear, but access to you whenever they decide to return. The moment you stop chasing, they call you cruel. That's how you know it was never about love. It was about leverage. If you've ever been punished for asking basic questions, tell me in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Someone out there needs to hear it.